A beautiful October 1st evening from Bengals Stadium on North Metro TV. It's a Metro Gold North Division matchup between the Totino-Grace Eagles and the Blaine Bengals. Good evening, everyone. More football on the North Metro TV slate tonight. Week number 5. J.W. Cox alongside Bill Hupp. And Bill, this is a big-time game for both of these teams. The Bengals, they've got a tough schedule coming up. They're off a tough loss against St. Michael Albertville. The Knights have hung tough losses on a lot of people. This is a big one for the Bengals to get back on the beam.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a couple tough ones coming up against Centennial and Maple Grove as well. They've had either really close wins this year or blowout losses. And like you said, they're coming off a blowout loss to St. Michael Albertville on the road. They're back here for homecoming, though, facing a wounded Totino-Grace program that's having a down year at 0-4. And so Blaine certainly hoping to come out, grab the momentum early, and ride it to a victory to get above 500 again.
And that's something they have not done this season, and that's get off to a quick start. They've been outscored 53-19 in the first half this season, so they'll kick it away and hope their defense can go to work, a defense that has allowed over 25 points a game to this point, just over 230 yards of total offense. Totino-Grace, not world beaters on the offensive side to this point, but certainly some weapons to watch. The kickoff. Ryan Schweiger will take that, boot it right to left, and will be stalled by a whistle.
Reset the game. The play clock for 25 seconds, please.
I don't know if you needed to blow that whistle with the ball in the air already, but whatever.
It's a buzzkill.
Yeah, so we'll do it again. Totino-Grace to receive. They come into this game looking for their first win. The Bengals are 2-2. Back deep, one of the top backs, Hunter Carlson. Joined by Sam Johnson back there. Off to the left. Carlson, the top running back to this point. And certainly a guy that can use his speed in these situations. Senior kicker, Schweiger, gets into it again, drops it down to this near side. That'll be Carlson coming up the near side. He's immediately taken down by Jackson Braun, who's second on this team in tackles. And that is where Totino-Grace will start. Right shy of the 25-yard line. They'll give him the 25-yard line to open this drive.
Totino-Grace probably looking to come out and establish the run. They were dangerous on the ground last week in a loss to number 2 Wayzata. They'll feature Carlson, of course. He'll get the lion's share of the carries. But you'll also have Michael Loger, number 12, who can run it himself, had a rushing touchdown last week.
Counted for all 17 points, including some with his foot. He's in the shotgun with the back behind him. The give is to Carlson. He's taken down immediately in the hole by the Bengals' Jacob Lind there in the middle. First down pickup out to the 28-yard line. It's 2nd down and 7.
And you're going to see a lot of that tonight. Just between the tackles, Carlson, a physical runner at 5'11", 190, getting some Division I looks. Hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year, which is odd. But last week, 19 carries for 123 yards.
Carlson again, they'll stretch it out to the left, looking for the blocking there. A little bit of space as he shoves a couple of Bengals down with the stiff arm before he's taken out by Braun again. The senior, we see how he's racked up 40 tackles into the day, in on 2 stops, 1 on special teams, and 1 after a first down pickup for Carlson out to the 38-yard line.
Pretty impressive gain right there of 9 as he just takes it outside. Can run between the tackles, but also has the speed to get to the edge when he needs to.
Defensive line of Lind and Huber in the middle. Also Jaden Grant on the wing. Carlson gets another carry, bounces off a tackler past the 40-yard line. He dives down. He's taken down by Jacob Imslander, along with Jack Johnson, a junior linebacker, just past the 40 to the 42 to pick up 4 yards. And it's all been Carlson so far. Minute gone on this opening possession for Totino-Grace. Last week, lost to Wayzata, 34-17. 2 weeks ago, they were on our airwaves at Centennial. Lost that game, got down 41-0 before scoring 1 late on the Cougars. Loger with a different back off to his right. It's E.J. Mathis this time. Mathis will get the carry right up the middle, and the ball is out. A dive, and the Bengals recover. Jack Johnson has the football. If they say it was out, they do. The Bengals have it. Initial hit and contact right in the middle by Jaden Grant and company. And then Jack Johnson comes away with it. And it's a turnover for this Bengal defense.
Well, they try to get the backup some time, and he just plows ahead, but loses it, and a great job by Johnson to fall on it, just stretching out to grab that football. And there was no doubt about it as you see it from behind the play. Great camera work. Hat on the football, knocks it free.
Scullerud will get the first carry off the left guard. He's taken down by Totino-Grace. Curtis Criswell gets him. That's Noah Scullerud. 14 of 39, no scores yet this season. More carries last week. He picks up 5 on first down to the 35 as the Bengals on homecoming open up with a takeaway. Now put their offense in the spotlight. 13 points a game, a couple of low-scoring games, and a shutout last week. As they'll dump this one out to the right, it's complete. Target, the big man Jordan Reynolds as he takes it down inside the red zone to the 15. And Reynolds has the grab, his 14th of the season, up over 260 yards coming in, and it's a first down for the Bengals.
Just a little pitch and catch, and Taylor presents a nice big target on the short side of the field as they'll continue to go with 3 wideouts.
First down for the Bengals.
Spotted at the 18-yard line with a first down. Snap again back. Scullerud off an initial tackle and leans his way forward as he's eventually put down to the deck by Amari Jaramillo for Totino-Grace at the 16-yard line. So a pickup of 2. It's second down and 8. Quarterback is A.J. Call, 49% on the season. Very good in their victories. On the 2 wins that the Blaine Bengals have so far this season, he's been a 54% completion machine. And he's thrown for 3 touchdowns and over 450 in those 2 wins. He's got Scullerud back behind him, delays the give, goes left side, and an ankle tackle will slow him up enough. It was Curtis Criswell again, going for a little bit of a ride, but he did enough to stop the back inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Spot him at the 14. Another gain of 2. It'll be a third down.
And 5.
Scullerud had 14 carries in the game against STMA last week, and they seem to be riding him again this week.
He's off to the left of Call, nearly an offside there. The Bengals were peeking to the sideline. The center is Brady Curnow. He's looking to snap it back to Call. He does. Call keeps, flings it over. Reynolds has it at the 5 out of a tackle, and it's a touchdown, Bengals. Bowder is flying from the student section here. Just a quick pitch and catch, and he shed the tackle of a good safety in Michael Sauer. And the strength of Jordan Reynolds paying off there. Has a nice touchdown strike, nice drive, and a good job by Blaine converting the turnover into points. 5 plays, 40 yards. Take about 2 minutes off the clock. And Reynolds from 14 yards out. Now through the mist, the extra point is up and good.
Staden.
That was Kendall Staden. Here's the touchdown again.
And you just see he had a step on Sauer, and not bad coverage by Sauer. The play fake held the linebackers. Reynolds just shook him off and went into the end zone for the touchdown. He's such a big target out there, and he gets his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Reynolds, 6'2", 175. 2 scores now. He's got a long of 66, averaging over 20 a catch. Needed just 14 for that one. Major target for A.J. Call, who has now thrown his 4th touchdown of the year. In every game he's thrown a touchdown, they've won. It's over as far as scores go in their 2 losses. Way too much powder flying right now, Bill. It's just it's starting to taste it now. Student section loves it.
We certainly can. So no question about it. 7-0 though. Bengals, just the kind of start they wanted on homecoming in terms of forcing a turnover and then immediately, as we said, converting that into points.
Schweiger to kick it again. It's got Carlson back deep one more time. Johnson the other target. It's going to come near side to Carlson, who picks it up at the 6-yard line. Busted up the near side numbers out of an ankle tackle nearly, but it was enough to trip him up. Special teams work done by the Bengals, and with 8:35 to go in the quarter, they will take over at the 21.
Well, here's the other thing, JW, is this Totino-Grace offense is a rushing offense. They don't want to pass it if they can't, if they don't have to, and so this is not an offense that wants to go behind. It's not a great offense if you're trying to come back. So again, first half struggles for Totino-Grace. It's been an issue all season long. They've been outscored 90-17 in the first half of their first 4 games, and the struggles continue tonight.
So the Bengals getting on the board, something they definitely needed to do early, able to do it. New quarterback in for Totino-Grace. It will be a give to Carlson. New quarterback, same plan. And Carlson is taken down from behind by Jacob Lind. Another big tackle for Lind here early. No gain. Stopped him at the 21. New quarterback, that is Nick Ruonen, junior, 6'1", 180. We saw Totino-Grace play against Centennial. We saw him and Logan in that game, alternating possessions. Ruonen, a few games ago, the second week of the season, threw a pair of touchdowns in a loss to Maple Grove. They'll give to Carlson. Carlson immediately met by Jacob Inslander and put down to the turf. Luke Studer came in to assist on the tackle for loss, back to the 20-yard line. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 11. This Bengal defense is just swarming.
Carlson has gained less than a yard. He's gone -1 in his last 3 carries. So the Bengals defense definitely gearing up to stop their main man as Blaine takes a timeout.
Yeah, that defensive line up front has been good. We talked about Inslander, we talked about Jacob Lind a couple of times, also Jaden Grant. Well, the guy whose name we haven't called just yet is the man you expect to do it even more, and that's Clayton Huber, number 50, right in the middle of things. He is one of the top tacklers for this team, but also it comes down to tackles for loss, him getting into the backfield. He's got at least 2 tackles for loss in each of the first 4 weeks of the season, including 4 in the loss last week. He is just tremendous.
No, he's absolutely, and he's been good for a while. He also has a sack on the season, and we saw he's a multi-talented kid. He sang in the choir with sang the national anthem with the choir before the game. So, but he's been a key cog in this Blaine defense for the last couple seasons, and it just really sets the tone if you can have a big body in the middle at that nose tackle position that can eat up a couple blocks, occupy blockers, and allow your linebackers to flow to the play and make the tackle.
The beauty of Huber, he finds a way to flow to the play himself from time to time. 5'10", 231 pounds for the senior in the middle. That's what Ruonen has to deal with in the middle on this 3rd down and 11 out of the Bengal timeout. We'll go with 4 down linemen. Ruonen wants to throw. First pass coming out left side. It's complete. Bengals there in pursuit. Out of the tackle goes R.J. Spencer, the top target for the Eagles, and he picks up a 1st down all the way out to the 36-yard line. So a 16-yard pickup for Spencer. 2 touchdowns that Ruonen threw in that Maple Grove game went right there to number 9 in white, R.J. Spencer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great job of pitch and catch on just drag play across the middle. R.J. Spencer catches it, breaks a tackle, and he will be their top target man tonight. That's definitely the guy to stop for Blaine.
He's wide to the right. The other receiver, Brennan Blake, a senior at 5'7", he's wide to the left. Ruonen's got Carlson behind him with a fullback in the backfield. Gives to Carlson, running off left side and running into that Bengal defensive line. They all meet at the running back. You're going to get credit all the way around. Jacob Lind along with Jaden Grant dragging Carlson back.
Yeah, I mean, Carlson's your classic workhorse back. He had a really good season last year for Totino-Grace, but they lost a lot, including their quarterback, who's now playing at St. Thomas. And they needed to have a guy to step up because a lot of youth and inexperience, especially along that offensive line. So the yards that Carlson earns in these games and tonight are hard-earned.
Slot receiver Logan Suggs. We saw him have a couple of big catches against Centennial. On this 2nd down, Suggs is there for the 1st down, up into the air to pluck that one down, and he tumbles ahead to the 50-yard line before he's taken down by Jordan Gresseth in the secondary. And it's a 1st down. Totino-Grace moves the sticks with another long pass.
Nice pitch and catch. He goes up, high points the football, snags it out of the air. He's got less than 10 catches, but he just has a knack for coming up big when they need him most.
They'll go slot again, same formation as they peer to the sideline. Fullback / tight end on the right-hand side is Arya Chandrasekhar. They'll play fake. Ruonen picks up a block. It didn't last, and Clayton Huber sends him to that brand spanking new turf. Had Luke Studer on his hip to help the quarterback to the deck, and a big loss to the 44 back deep into Bengal territory.
Rude intentions from Clayton Huber. I didn't want to make it sound like he was just a space eater. He's a playmaker too, as we've told you with those tackle for loss numbers. Picks up his 2nd sack of the season, and if it wasn't going to be him, it was going to be another Bengal. That play dead from the start.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 16 from back at the Bengal 44-yard line. Ruonen looking to throw again, gets it away quickly, has his man Spencer out of an ankle tackle, the first man to get to him. Couldn't be secured by Adam Anderson, held him up long enough to get Jordan Gresseth in on the act. Gresseth, one of the top tacklers as well, the senior from his linebacking spot. 2nd catch for Spencer.
Spencer now 2 catches, 20 yards.
Picks up 11 on that. It'll be a 3rd down. And picked up a couple of 3rd downs here on this drive. Have Totino-Grace. Bringing a new wide receiver as well. That's Peter Shaw. Also doubles his defensive back. He's wide to the left. Suggs and Spencer to the right. Carlson that side of the backfield with Ruin. Fakes it. Ruin into the right, has Suggs, play made, tackled immediately by Jackson Braun, but he'd already run well past the sticks, down close to the 30-yard line. They will spot him at the 31. Another big grab for a 1st down for Logan Suggs.
Well, how about Nick Ronan? 4 of 4 for 55 yards on this drive, and they've got it advancing it into Blaine territory, but they've had some success through the air on this drive. Great fingertip grab on that one.
Spotted at the 32-yard line. Come back from the big 6-yard loss on the sack on 1st down. Ruin doing it with the arm. Wants to throw again, straight drop. Lofting it right side, has his man through the arms of the defender instead in the end zone. As that one falls incomplete. It looked like Studer was in coverage there. Top tackler on this team got back there over to cover the wide receiver. The target was Shaw.
Yeah, again, a pretty deep ball, but Blaine had it pretty well covered. Shar had a big touchdown catch last week on one of the last plays of the game, 55 yards. So he is their speedster deep, but unsuccessful right there.
He split out wide to the right. It's Suggs in the slot to the left. Ruin looking that way. He'll dump it off to the back. Carlson. Bengals come up, rally to the football, and a solid form tackle by Adam Anderson. The senior defensive back coming up from the secondary to drop him down and bring up 3rd down. Carlson got just shy of the 30 to the 32, so they'll say no gain.
Yeah, just a great open field tackle, and if you miss that tackle, Carlson gets another 6-7 yards, gets to the sidelines. But ultimately a sure tackle in the open field, and it sets up a difficult 3rd down now for Totino-Grace.
Bengal defense started this game with a takeaway, turned into a Bengal offensive score, up 7-0. Now trying to bend but not break on a 3rd down and 10 in their own territory at the 32-yard line. Carlson looking right all the way, got it out of the hands quickly, just a little bit behind Shar, who couldn't haul it in. It'll be 3rd down. Clock pauses just outside of 4 minutes to go.
They had him just a little bit behind him, and ultimately the receiver Shar could not adjust to make the catch. And so now decision time, because you're probably out of Michael Loger's range in terms of leg strength, so kind of in no man's land, and you might as well go for it.
Offense still out there, never left the field.
Unless you want a pooch punt, which is also a potential, and try to pin him deep.
Ruin still this quarterback. Tight end on the line right side. Bengals maybe bringing some pressure from the left with Jordan Gressive. And now a timeout's going to be taken by Totino-Grace.
First timeout. 1st down.
Second-year head coach Jay Anderson wants to talk it all over, look it all over. He's got his second quarterback right there, Logan. 7-0 Bengals here in week number 5, trying to get back on the beam, back over 500.
Yeah, and it's an important game for them. They've had an up and down season. They've played a tough schedule. But they certainly want to right the ship here tonight, especially with games against Centennial and Maple Grove coming up. At Centennial next week, or rather, beg your pardon, Wayzata coming up. Big win at White Bear Lake, come from behind win after they had gotten out to a big lead in week 1. Then blown out at Minnetonka, a narrow win at home versus Champlain Park. And then the big loss last week, 28-0 at STMA. So the 2 losses this season, JW, very respectable. Minnetonka and STMA, very strong programs and having good seasons. But again, it doesn't get any easier with upcoming visits, like we said, to Centennial and Wayzata, and even finishing the year with Osseo.
Here's a big 4th down. 4th and 10. Ruin to throw. He finds Spencer, sheds one tackler, got down inside the 25-yard line. He needed about a yard more, and I don't think he got it. It's going to be a turnover on downs. The Bengal defense does bend and not break, and with a 7-0 lead, the Bengal offense will take over with 4:09 to go.
PA announcer said it was a gain of 13. That was actually a gain of 8. And short of the line to gain at the 24, so not enough. Not a bad play idea. You're relying on Spencer to make a play, to break a tackle, and ultimately that's why the Bengals have the ball back.
From their own 24, throw it out short quickly to this near side. Pass complete. As it's dropped off underneath to Callan Tenzin Jenkins. And that will move the stick out to the 30-yard line, so a 5-yard pickup on first down. Call it 6, second down and 4. Little quick pass for A.J. Call. Again, the overall completion percentage a little bit below 50%. He's been up over that in their wins. Maybe some pressure coming from his left. That's Will Russell. He stays home. Call's going to run and instead runs into Nick Pittman, who stuck him down to the deck with a great tackle off this near side edge for a loss back to the 30, make it the 27-yard line.
Pittman had a whale of a game last week against Wayzata, all over the place from his outside linebacker position. He read that real well, read that design run. And Call's not a small guy, but Pittman actually absolutely buried him and still sets up a third and manageable, though, for Blaine.
Third down, they'll call it 7. 6'3". For Call, the quarterback, dumps it off near side or far side right. Finds a big target in Donovan Torgerson. Plays a little defensive line, plays it a wide receiver, and he got enough for the first down out past the 33-yard line. They'll spot it at the 34. So he picks up the 7 he needed, right on the money, and the Bengals stay on the field. Under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. They'll give. Again, it's Scullerud. And he dives ahead just past the 35 to the 36. We were talking about before this game about Preston Myers, who was out there during warm-ups. He's their leading back as far as touches and yards, and also with a touchdown, 73 yards a game. But we haven't seen number 30 in Columbia Blue just yet. He is down on the sideline with the helmet on.
Yeah, they've been riding Scullerud. He's got 4 carries in the game for just 11 yards so far.
1 yard picked up on that first down run. On second down, he gets it again. He's out to the 40-yard line before he's dragged down by Pittman and company. Also, Devin Schulze in on the tackle. Down to the 39-yard line. So we'll bring up another third down and manageable here. They'll call it 3rd and 6.
Call 4 for 4 for 43 yards so far. So we'll see if they go back to the air here on 3rd and 5.
Showed it as a weapon. He's got 4 wide receivers. Dropping back, sets up the screen, little high. Scullerud turned and he dropped it. They say no catch. He turned, there was too much traffic, including a blocker and a defender. Well defended to take up space by Adam Molitor, the big 6'6" defensive lineman. Drop back there.
A little too much air under this screen pass, and Scullerud actually had to turn around, and when he ran into his own teammate, he kind of jarred the ball loose. So ultimately, going to result in a punt for Blaine.
So it'll be a 4th down and 5 off the incompletion. This is Zach Schusted, standing at his own 30, 25, and 26-yard line. Gonna kick it to Brendan Blake, but not yet. Timeout taken by the Bengals, their second of the quarter with 1:44 to go. Centennial, they're trying to knock off Wayzata. 3 straight wins for the Cougars tonight. Chance to hang a loss on an undefeated team in your own section and division. Meanwhile, Spring Lake Park, they've had 1 section and division game thus far, and they'll take on Matamita again, hopping out of play. That's what you've got as far as the Metro Gold North. So Centennial will be right there in that passel of 4 2-win teams, because they knock off Maple Grove, or Maple Grove would be vying for Wayzata now. That's still unbeaten, so the Centennial Cougars right in the mix.
Well, it's one of those things where the teams within the divisions beat up on each other. It's like the NFC West, right, where any team can win any week depending on who's brought the focus that week and who makes plays. And so that's why it's anybody's guess what's going to happen. We know Wayzata is going to be in the mix at the end, but yeah, still plenty to decide in this football season.
Student section brought the focus on homecoming, the wide out for them. Powder notwithstanding, as this one's booted away by Schusted. Will basically roll on its side, taking a right turn down there, and the turn man gets away. It'll go down to the 20-yard line, where it's down right there. at the 41-yard kick. So from the 20, where Totino-Grace will take over on their third possession. Fumbled on the first, on downs on the second. And now taking over after forcing a punt with 1:41 to go in the first quarter. Spring Lake Park taking on Matamidi, by the way.
Logan back in at quarterback after a good series for Ruonen.
He will give to Carlson, who's immediately met in the backfield. Held up and dragged back. Held up first by Jaden Grant, then Jacob Lind got in there to finish that play off. Jaden Grant has had a whale of a game so far, but we've called his name time and again when the defense has been out there, and you'll see number 93 just flash in there and wrap up the tailback.
Yeah, and your defensive line, obviously, when it's a rushing attack, the line of scrimmage is so critical. And if you win that, odds are you're going to win the game and win the turnover battle. And right now, Blaine is doing both of those things.
Got the lone turnover of the day, some late substitutions. Tight end standpoint. Into the game comes Molitor. Bengal front four have pushed that line of scrimmage back into the backfield. This time Carlson runs through it, plus another shirt tail tackle before he's finally taken down by Jackson Braun. After a first down carry out to the 30-yard line. Makes that first man miss, and he can be dangerous in space.
Yeah, no question about it. And that's the thing, is you can bottle up Carlson for a couple carries, limit him to a yard or two, but he can break it off at any time as we've got an injured Bengal on the field.
Braun is down after making that tackle eventually.
Well, that's the thing about a running back like Carlson, though, is he can hurt you at any time. And so you can think you've had him bottled up, but then he can break one off like he did there, and now he's given Totino-Grace a little breathing room.
The top two tacklers for the Bengals, Jackson Braun along with Luke Studer, both those guys playing out of the secondary and leading this team in tackles. First time we've been here for a Blaine football game this fall. Of course, the brand new turf well underway with soccer as well. And all the activities that now get a chance to go on. And Bill, my favorite line about the new turf here when looking at the reasonings to do it, it basically moves Blaine High School alone from about 65 events that they'd feel comfortable each year putting on the grass to keep it still playable to more than 245 events that they feel like they can put on now with the turf. It gives a lot more teams a lot more chances to get out here on a consistent basis.
Yeah, that's a significant thing, and it lasts for a while, a good decade. But certainly more kids having opportunities to play under the lights and to get this experience is not a bad thing.
After the injury, clock spins again. A first down and 10 for Totino-Grace. They'll dump off the little pass on the near side and nowhere going away from Clayton Huber, who makes the tackle, bring it down Justin Kuharski. Sophomore running back swinging out of the backfield for no gain. Huber stays right there with him. Actually, it's a loss to the 30.
Yeah, just the speed of Huber to track him down from that middle nose tackle position. Just the athleticism. I mean, the guy just has a nose for the football.
It's Joe Beckman who's come into the game at that other corner spot for Jackson Braun, who was injured. Keep an eye on Braun as we come down to the final seconds. Totino-Grace doesn't want to run a play here in this quarter, so we will go to the second. Bengals the lone score, the lone takeaway. That set it up as Blaine had to go 40 yards for the score. Got the 14-yard touchdown pass from their quarterback, A.J. Call, to his top target, Jordan Reynolds. And they're on the board, 7-0 after one here on North Metro TV. Seven nothing Bengals after one here on Homecoming on North Metro TV. First day of October. Homecoming game for the Bengals against Totino-Grace. Have a second down and 11. A keeper for Logan going up the middle. And he gets some yardage out to the 39-yard line. Not what the Bengals were expecting. Where he was eventually taken down there in the middle of the field.
Logan did this a couple times. He had a really big, like 54-yard run against Wayzata last week. And as we mentioned, a rushing touchdown. So certainly an athletic quarterback and one that you have to account for. Sets up a third and manageable now for the Eagles.
Easton Olsen on that last tackle. Going a little deeper on the defensive depth chart. Third down and short. They'll run it. Carlson has it straight off the right side. Bowls over a tackler near midfield. Still stayed on his feet and finally taken down at the 45-yard line. He put a Bengal in that brand new turf at the 50 and kept going for another 5 yards.
Such a physical runner, just crushed, just churned out 16 out to the down to the 45, but a really powerful runner, one that keeps moving his legs. As you see him just hit the hole, stiff arm, and if you think you have him down, you have to make sure you wrap and finish the tackle.
First down and 10. Into Bengal territory for the second time today in as many drives. Huber into the backfield. He wraps him up and takes him down. A loss all the way back. They'll mark him at the 43-yard line. In and out of Bengal territory, courtesy of that defensive line, led by the blitz straight through by Clayton Huber.
Well, he just picked up 16 on that rush, and they just gave it right back. Huber flings down the quarterback, and they mark him all the way back at the 44, and actually, technically that loss was of 11, but Clayton Huber making a huge impact here in this first half.
2 sacks for Huber here in the first half, so he's done it again. At least 2 tackles for loss. He's got 2 of them of the sack variety here tonight in each game so far. That one's tipped up into the air and caught by the offensive lineman, or the tight end rather. It's Molitor who plucks that one out of the air after the big right hand of Jacob Imslander got there to swat it away. So they'll lose another yard back to the 41-yard line, another 3 yards to the 41. And now it's third down and 20.
Adam Molitor's 6'6", 220, just like his brother Mason, and he needed all of that height right there to reach up and pluck this ball out of the air before it could be intercepted.
He's dealing with 6'4". in Jacob Imslander. Tight end slash defensive end. Bengal defense can go to work here. Molitor's played on both sides of the ball. Big time, big athlete. Mason and Adam. Third and 20, trying to get some of it back. Carlson back to the 50. This time no extra yards as he's pushed back. Dragged down by Olsen again. He gets to the 49-yard line. So he picks up 8.
And again, it's really hard when you put yourself behind the chains and you are not a passing offense. But I think they realized this was 2-down territory, and so what do? Unless they do decide to punt it away and try to pin the Bengals deep.
It was 4th down and 24. So a pickup of 8, making it 4th and 16. They'll stack 3 to the left side, empty on the right. Quarterback on the drive has been Logan. He will. Pooch punted away. Nobody back for the Bengals, so that can hit and roll. Takes a left turn, dives inside the 10, and it will be down at the 7-yard line. Spot it right at the 6.
Sorry, JW. Logan's leg is a weapon. I mean, he's obviously, we saw it with field goal kicks and extra points. We've talked about it. But right there, a beautiful job of executing the punt, and now Blaine has 94 yards if they want to strike gold.
Third Bengal possession. So offense has been 185 on average through the air, 70 on average on the ground. Some of that skewed by a game where they were shut out and one where they scored just 3 points. We'll start on the ground. It's Scullerud. He stumbled as he hit his way through the line and eventually was taken down by Diego Mondragon. 5'6", 270-pound nose tackle for Totino-Grace. Drops him for a gain of just 1.
Yeah, I mean, 6 carries for 17 yards for Scullerud. They've been pretty balanced, 4 of 5 through the air and 6 carries thus far.
They did give him 2 out to the 8-yard line, so it's 2nd down and 8. Tight end in motion. It's Torgerson. Pitch it behind Torgerson, trying to block on that edge. Picked up 1 block. Scullerud spins around an initial tackle attempt, then taken down by Colin Finley for Totino-Grace. Short of first down yardage, short of the 15 at the 14-yard line, but give him 6. It'll be 3rd down and an opportunity here, 3rd down and 2. Scullerud the only back with a carry today. Split 3 wide to the right. Tyler Terry's in the slot on that side. They'll run it that way, looking for some blocking from the wide receivers. Didn't get it as Pittman blows everything up. at the 14-yard line. So it'll be a 4th down and a punt situation for the Bengals here deep in their own territory.
You saw Nick Pittman make a play last drive, and this time they just kind of flipped it and decided to go to the right side this time on the pitch out. And Scullerud, it's up to him to make that cut and make a play, because between the tackles hasn't been working for Blaine, and Pittman was just able to read it and come in and blow it up.
10 on the timer for Schustad as the punt team rushes out there. 6 to snap it. Standing at his own goal line. Booted away, just got it away from some pressure. It's fair caught at the 45-yard line as it's taken down by Brennan Blake. So the punt, back-to-back possessions terminated with a punt for the Blaine Bengals. Totino-Grace doesn't lose anything on the field position side. 31 yards on that punt.
Bengal fans, check out page 59.
It really was just an exact flip, because Totino-Grace before that sack had gotten it down to the 45-yard line, and so no harm, no foul. Eagles go back to work on their 3rd possession.
Yeah, you go back a couple of more plays, and it was right there at the 45-yard line before that big Huber sacked, took them back into their own territory. So it will be Logan again, back-to-back possessions for him. Secondary back, Kaharski off to his right. Logan will throw, dumping it off. Kaharski has it, but out of the arms of Clayton Huber. Has to drag his way to the 42-yard line. Picks up 3. Keeps the clock moving, under 6:20 remaining here in this first half.
That's just, by the way, funny statistic. Logan now 3 of 3 for -2 yards passing, but
trying to get it back.
Yeah, gain of 3, and Huber, but he read that so well and was able to track down the play from behind. So we talk about his football intelligence and his instincts, perfectly on display right there.
In the middle of everything. Linebackers tucking in behind him. Jack Johnson, Jordan Gresseth among them. Logan trying to roll away from that pressure. Hit as he throws, and it was complete to Molitor. There is a flag down as Molitor made the catch at the 39-yard line. That's Mason Molitor. And we'll see if this is coming back with
modest gain of 3 if it stands. First flag we've had of the night. And it does indeed appear to be against Totino-Grace.
Moving it back, they started the drive at the 45-yard line.
Number 70 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spiral ball. Repeat 2nd down.
Got the right tackle, Owen Swedberg. You could guess that, right, Bill? It's rolling out to the right side. The tackle got a little bit too much. Sophomore ding for the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, and this active Bengals defensive line, you can see why they cause offensive lines so much pressure, so much stress, because they're just so athletic and so quick off the ball, and you force holds like that.
That'll set him back. 2nd and 23. Logan again, company in the backfield, trying to run away from Imslander, directing traffic, and again dumps it off to Molitor. Tiptoes the sideline, close to the 45. They'll say he stepped out at the 47-yard line.
It's the other Molitor. Mason Molitor that time.
So to the 47, picks up 11, brings up a 3rd down and 12. Bengal defense, they've given up some chunk plays. They've taken some back. They have the lone turnover of this game. Let's set up their 40-yard touchdown drive. This drive started for Totino-Grace at the 45. Right now it's a 3rd down and 12 from the Bengal 47. Huber coming in, blows up the play. Logan running to the right, has to tuck the football away as the Bengals were hunting for another turnover. He'll wind his way to the 42-yard line. That was blown up by Huber into the backfield, ended by his fellow line mate Jacob Lind. Down to the 41 on a gain of 6.
Well, JW, from up here anyway, it looked like a designed play, but it's hard to tell with Huber having flown in there so quickly if he just blew that play up or if it was going to be a quarterback draw in the first place. But it brings up an important 4th and 7 for Totino-Grace again in that kind of no man's land.
4th down and 7, you're right. They could have been looking at 2-down territory, getting something on the ground. Now they'll sling it out to Suggs off his fingertips. He's taken down anyway. Had the man right in his face, Jordan Gresseth, excuse me, who got his money's worth on the tackle. And on downs it will go. 2nd time this game it's gone over on downs from Totino-Grace to the Bengals.
Well, JW, at this point, the difference in the game is the Blaine defense. I mean, they've gotten a couple big sacks from Huber, forced a turnover, which set up its offense in good field position. The offense has moved the ball a little bit, but it's been the play of the Bengals defense that is winning Blaine this ballgame.
And that is like Bengal teams of old, teams that have made it to the bank, that have made it deep in the state tournament. Yeah, they've put up some points, but the defense, the front five on offense, 4 on defense, as Scullerud will have his first big carry of the day all the way into Totino-Grace territory, down to the 43-yard line. They've been built on defense before, and this team is certainly trying to be in that same mold. Picks up 16, bursting through the middle and banging off tacklers.
Yeah, he looked down potentially a couple times, and then he's just running away, dragging tacklers, including Colin Finley.
Bengals tried to go too fast. They'll get the false start called against them here. Tenzin Jenkins potentially not set there, so they'll lose 5.
First penalty of the game on Blaine. It's been a pretty cleanly played first half, other than that turnover and a couple penalties. Each
team on the second play of these last last 2 possessions, have picked up their first penalty. Bengals back to it with a 1st and 15, leading at 7-0. They have gone punt on their last 2 possessions. Man in motion is Torgerson. Delay the give, don't give it to Scullerud. Out goes Call, down goes Reynolds. Reynolds, the adjustment, and he can't haul it in. Threw it just to the wrong shoulder. He spun around behind the defender to try and make that adjustment, but he did. They'll give his receiver a chance to make a play.
Yeah, he put it up, and he escaped the pressure of Totino-Grace, and yeah, gave himself time to air it out. Reynolds tried to adjust, and it would have been a spectacular catch at the 10. As you see this here, he just aired it out off 1 foot, and Reynolds just had it bounce off his hands.
2nd down and 15. Call to throw again. This time, right side has Huber at the 35-yard line. Maybe pushed out just short, but Toby Huber, 5'6" senior wide receiver, has his 12th catch of the season.
Yeah, just a little stop and go, and Sauer comes over and makes the hit, but Huber, not the biggest receiver, but he hauled it in nicely there.
Still be 3rd down. They mark him shy of the 35-yard line. At the 36. Huber again lined up in the slot left side. That's where all 3 wide receivers are. Tenzin Jenkins wide outside of Reynolds. Scullerud's the back, tight end on the left side of the line. Clap of the hands and the snap. They'll go to Scullerud, right side, trying to pick up a 1st down, trying to push the pile. He's close.
Depends on the spot.
Far side official got a little closer to it. I think he is going to be short. No, they're going to move the chains. 1st down Bengals on the run for Noah Scullerud.
They're going to say over the loudspeaker anyway, gain of 3 on the play. So Scullerud, the sophomore, now with 10 carries for 42 yards in the first half. The only Bengals player with a rushing attempt.
Tight end will tuck in behind the line. Left tackle and punter, Zach Schusted. They'll give to Scullerud. He'll run right, burst through that line before he meets the 2nd level, and the linebackers for Totino-Grace bring him down. But Scullerud a positive gain on 1st down before he's brought down by Colin Rowe, junior linebacker for the Eagles.
Well, after a couple outside pitches, they're back to rushing Scullerud in between the tackles, as he picked up a nice chunk of 5 on that 1st down rush.
Trying to move that between the center, Brady Curnow, Evan Abel. Actually, Curnow, who's moved to left guard at this point. Play blows up a little bit in the face of Call, gets creative, winds his way down. Eventually, tackle made by Colin Finley, but a 1st down run, nifty for the quarterback. Supposed to go right, spin it back left, down to the 19.
Very impressive from Call. We know he can rush. He's got a couple rushing touchdowns this year. Athletic to dodge tacklers, including Nick Pittman. Finally, Finley tracks him down, but not before another rushing 1st down for Blaine.
Zach Byers is over the football, and those guards, Curnow and Theo Neitzel. Neitzel, the junior, at 6 foot 280. They will run outside with Scullerud. Out of a tackle, the edge was set, but tackle not made. Eventually help over from the defensive lineman, Mondragon, to keep that from being a big gain. Just picks up a couple inside the 19, maybe down to the 18-yard line.
Blaine doing a lot more on the ground in this drive than they have in previous drives.
Everybody peeking to the sideline. 2 to the right, Huber and Reynolds. Slot receiver left is Jake Mueller. Still Scullerud. Looking left all the way, threw it behind Tenzin Jenkins, who was crossing over at the 10-yard line. Incomplete to stop the clock. 3rd and 9 coming up. Bengals up 7-0, minute 17 to go.
Bengals, if they want to, this can be the last possession of the half. And they would love nothing more than to just finish this first half on a high note, punch it in, and take a 14-0 lead to the break.
They get the ball to start the second half. Going 2 for 1, but need the first down. Lob it out, Scullerud led him perfectly. He's tumbling down, losing his feet. It'll depend on the spot again. No, he's well short, excuse me. As that one was dropped down close to the 17-yard line. It'll be 4th down from that 17-yard line.
Basically a no gain on that play, but are in field goal range, so.
We'll get our first look, and it will be Ryan Schweiger. Place kicker for the Bengals, sharing those duties with Kendall Staden. 2 soccer players handling the kicking duties, held by Joe Beckman. We'll put this one down at the 24-yard line. 34-yard attempt is up, looks good, confirming the call, and it is good. And the Bengals will take a 10-0 lead with 1:06 to go. As Ryan Schweiger, 34-yard field goal to extend the lead.
Good drive from the Bengals. Again, they couldn't punch it in, but they do get points on the board. And they have to have one of the better kicking games in the area, I would think, in terms of just getting consistent field goals every game. And again, their defense is the one that's really winning them this game, obviously, and just want to make sure they go into half up 10-0 if they can.
Bengals, that's their 5th made field goal between the combination of Schweiger, who'll do the kickoff here, and Staden. They're also now 6 of 7 on point afters this season. Lending to exactly what Bill's talking about with the quality of the kicking game for the Bengals this year.
And it's a unique situation, right? Because both are soccer players. They kind of share it. They split time. So certainly something that the coaching staff emphasizes Mike Law in his 4th season at the helm.
That one, for some reason, caught near the sideline there. Just a tough decision made by the return man. You let that go, it's going to go out of bounds. Instead, they'll be pinned at the 5. Carlson has to do a lot, and that time toe taps his way in.
I think it was Sam Johnson, actually, and he caught it and yeah, should have let it go. It would have been a flag, and they would have had it at the 35. But as you see, Kendall Staden there had a hat trick in the win at Spring Lake Park last night. 3-0 Blaine girls beating the Panthers. 10-3 on the season now for Blaine.
Taken over at the 5-yard line, 1:05 to go here in this half. Run game at times has been there as Carlson is able to push close to the 9-yard line before he's taken down by the Bengals and Henry Morris.
Carlson now 11 carries for 58 yards, 58 hard yards in the first half.
Totino-Grace happy to let the clock spin here. They'll have to run at least one more play. Wide either side. Logan gives to Carlson again, who spins out of a couple tackles. Can't get anything going as he's back now to the 8-yard line. So he lost a yard, and that will end the half. Totino-Grace, no hurry. And that brings us to halftime. Halftime at Homecoming. We'll have a dance performance. We'll also have a story from North Metro TV's news division about Kendall Staden, all coming your way at the half. They're still lining up, but there's only 2 seconds left, and this half is over with a Bengal 10-0 lead, courtesy of a 14-yard touchdown pass from A.J. Call to Jordan Reynolds and a 34-yard field goal to make it 10-0 by Ryan Schweiger. 10-0 at the half. Bengals in week 5 looking to get back over 500. All right here on North Metro TV. Stick around. halftime here at Bengals Stadium. It is homecoming. It's a Bengal 10-0 lead over Totino-Grace. They've got the lone touchdown of the night so far, as they've also got a 34-yard field goal to their credit from Ryan Schweiger. We'll get some highlights, but first, your other field goal kicker, Kendall Staden, who's been good this season as well, another Bengal soccer player. North Metro TV News stepped in to do a story about Kendall Staden.
At a Bengal football practice, you'll see big athletic guys getting better at a tough sport. So how does a girl fit in? Kendall Staden, number 51, is proving she can kick field goals and extra points with extreme accuracy.
The first game, it was incredible. I was told that I would be kicking that game because our other kickers were at their own soccer game. So I had a lot of pressure on me that I knew I had to go out there.
The pressure didn't show. In that first game, Blaine was down by 1 point, and with 3 seconds left, she kicks it through for the win and gets mobbed by the team.
I had no idea I would get the reaction I got.
She admits now she thought the field goal was worth just 1 point and a tie.
I've never really watched football. My dad played in college, but somehow I have zero knowledge on the entire game. So I did think I would be tying the game, the first game.
Kendall has played soccer for 13 years, and Blaine's athletic director saw a special talent and suggested she try out as a football kicker.
I was like, wait a minute, this is not right. And he was asking if I would come out and try to kick. And it's never been a thought, it never occurred to me that I would be doing this.
Coach Mike Law says she struggled at first with the differences between kicking a soccer ball and a football, but she's a fast learner.
And all of a sudden she started to catch on, and it was quick, and started putting them through, and obviously whenever we saw that, we were pumped.
In a game against Champlain Park, the score was tied, and she was called on again for a winning kick. Maybe it's the years of soccer that helps her handle the pressure.
Some of those big-time moments, she's a little bit more relaxed than some of our other kids that haven't been in highly competitive soccer games in the past.
Being able to only touch the ball once or twice a game, you have to make sure you take advantage of it and make it worth it, instead of in soccer where you're going to get a few chances.
Her specialty is accuracy from close in, those extra points and field goals. Coach Law says every player brings something that makes them a better team, and Kendall is no exception.
She's tough, she's confident, she cares about her teammates, she puts great effort in practice and expects a lot of herself in games. So, it's exactly what you want when you have any kid come out, regardless of male, female. We want a kid that fits that bill, and she definitely does.
Kendall says she feels welcomed and accepted more than she expected.
It feels somehow normal. Just the environment and the family culture that it's created. It doesn't seem like I'm the only girl on a football team.
The longest kick so far, a 36-yarder against Champlain Park. For North Metro TV News, I'm Mike Johnson reporting.
Thanks to Mike Johnson and the news department for that one. And Bill, the thing is, Kendall Staden out there practicing here at halftime, she's got the winning point in both of their wins this season. She kicked the field goal against White Bear Lake. She kicked the extra point in the comeback win against Champlain Park that proved to be the difference. So not only obviously is she good, but she's been clutch too, which is tough for a kicker.
Yeah, especially someone who's new to the sport. My favorite part of that White Bear Lake story is that she thought that last kick was tying the game, and when it was actually winning. So in a small way, maybe that helped ease the pressure, knowing that she was just tying it instead of winning it. But she quickly found out that no, she'd in fact won it, and certainly been a difference maker for this Bengals team. So credit Coach Law for coming out and trying to recruit her out onto the team, and having those soccer players kind of thinking outside the box to shore up your special teams, which is an underrated part at the high school level.
There is a field goal that's played into this game. It was for Ryan Schweiger. We'll get there, but first we look back at how this one started for the Bengals. They started on defense. It's been a tough defense, and the fumble gives them the way off the field and sets the offense up with a 40-yard field. It would turn into a 14-yard touchdown pass from A.J. Call to the top target, Jordan Reynolds. More defense. Clayton Huber got his first sack in the first quarter, as he has put up tackles for loss in each game so far. They flipped the field around. You can't flip Huber around, as he got back in there for another big sack. The defense forcing it over on downs twice after the fumble. Also 2 punts. Big runs on the ground for Noah Scullerud on a late drive, the final drive of the half for the Blaine offense. Got them into Totino-Grace territory. And then eventually Schweiger from 34 yards out puts them up 10-0. Defense, and then some field position and a good field goal after that first drive touchdown for the Blaine Bengals. 10-0. They've got the lead. They'll kick it off, or they'll receive the kickoff rather, to start the second half when we come back right here on North Metro TV. 10-0 lead headed to half number 2 for the Blaine Bengals. Here on North Metro TV, trying to get their 3rd win of the season, go to 2-2 in Metro Gold North play, and make the fans happy on homecoming here, Bill. You see it in the first half. Obviously, we talked about how good that defense was. The offense, though, is going to get a chance to shine again. They haven't scored a touchdown since that opening drive on a short field.
Yeah, they want to get back on track offensively, and pretty even distribution of run to pass, 9 passes and 12 runs in the first half, as Scullerud had 12 carries for 48 yards, and Call was 6 for 9 for 54 yards and a touchdown. So pretty efficient in general on offense, but they did have to punt a couple times. Certainly hoping to take this down and punch it in, get points on the board to start the second half.
Loger boots it away towards Hegstead and Terry. It bounces on the ground instead. Hops up out of the grasp of a Bengal up man, who then takes it down close to the 39-yard line before eventually Gavin Ecker, junior linebacker, had the hands to grab that. He's taken down and stopped. Good field position, though, for the Bengals at their own 39.
And they've taken turns on some of these drives. Sometimes it's been pass heavy. Sometimes they've tried to run it on that one with the field goal. Towards the end of the first half, it was very run heavy. So we'll see what their distribution of plays is on this one.
2 right, 1 left. Single tight end. It will give to Scullerud running behind that single tight end, and he immediately runs into a passel of Eagles right there. Taken down right in the middle by Amari Jaramillo on that right edge. Had a little support there as well from the rest of his defensive line teammates, so he's dropped. Short gain out to the 40.
Yeah, still no Preston Myers in this game. Calls had 1 carry, and Scullerud has had the other 13, so.
Again, the tight end this time will slide out to the slot left side. That's Torgerson. Sophomore now goes in motion, tucks up on the right side behind Tyler Terry. They'll pitch it that way. Extra bodies that way, but you got to get to the edge, and there to the edge goes Scullerud, and he puts a man on his back rolling through the hole. Michael Sauer took the wrong end of that tackle. Did get the stop at the 48-yard line. It's a short of first down yardage. Long way to go for that one, Bill, but Scullerud turns it into a pretty big gain.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is when you pitch it outside is he can get his feet moving, square his shoulders to the line of scrimmage, and get ahead of steam and kind of look for where to make that cut. He was pretty decisive once he did.
Brings up a 3rd and short. They'll call it 3rd and 1. Call again. Scullerud just up the middle. He won't mess around. Dives his way forward. Kept his hand on the turf to keep himself up. He's knocked down by Sam Johnson, the sophomore linebacker, in the middle. Brings up a first down into Totino-Grace territory.
Scullerud now 15 carries for 60 yards, a gain of 4 per carry. And that one was an interesting one. He's low to the ground. He's not the biggest back, so he has that low center of gravity, which definitely helps him.
5'10", 180 for the sophomores. The motion man's the tight end to the slot left, now tucking around back to the right side. Inside of Reynolds, who caught the touchdown. Long give into the belly of Scullerud. Keep instead, up for Reynolds, flag down, ball batted around. It's a flag down on the near sideline. They're just between the numbers and the hash marks, rather. And we'll see initial signal, ineligible man downfield.
Sauer initially thought it was going to be pass interference on him. He's hand fighting there with Reynolds, but the flag comes in away from the play, and Sauer, I think, does a pretty good job defensively on that one.
Reynolds also wanted the flag, not going to get it. And it is offensive lineman leaking out. Zach Peterson got down the field too quickly.
Pretty good play fake after you've gone to Scullerud the first 3 plays of this drive. Good call to go up top, but Sauer was equal to it. He seemed to be shadowing Reynolds, of similar size.
5 yards, excuse me, yeah, they lose the 5 yards, so it's 1st and 15 now from their own 47-yard line. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. It's Reynolds again. Scullerud just to the left. They'll throw it over the middle, and there's your tight end, the sophomore, leaking from that slot left out inside the 40-yard line. And Torgerson, 205 pounds of pass-catching ability, works his way to the 38.
Great little pitch and catch as he just pulls it out and hits him on the quick slant into Eagles territory again.
Finish the play falling forward for the extra yardage. And that 6'2" frame. Scullerud up the middle, makes his way through traffic, stiff arms and takes a man with him down to the 25-yard line. Man that went for a ride was Sam Johnson. First down run for Scullerud. The Bengals coming up on play number 7 of this drive, and an injured Bengal will slow us up before we get there on a first down. Scullerud just bursting out of that pile. He's low to the ground, Bill, but he keeps those legs churning.
Well, he's pretty strong. I mean, 180 pounds for 5'9". What's exciting for Blaine is this kid's just a sophomore, so of course he's the one down on the field, but just a sophomore, so the potential for him the next couple of years is pretty great.
Bengals have had some guys that have come in young to that position. See who takes over there as the tailback, at least for the short term, hoping that's all it is with Scullerud. You'd have to assume at this point that it's an injury for Preston Myers, who was dressed. We didn't see him first half or second. He's going to make his way off gingerly.
Yep, Scullerud able to walk, but yeah, definitely favoring it. So we'll see who's in the backfield now for Blaine. Might be down their top 2 rushers.
Could go empty. It looks like Hegstead is in there as an extra wide receiver.
You can see the frustration on Scullerud's face.
Cole Schmidt also out there. So it will be Hegstead. A little wide receiver, running back, flex type guy. He'll be set off to the left. They'll turn, fake it to him, throw out on a quick slant, and it's hauled in. Did it hit the deck? They say yes, it hit the deck. Tyler Terry tried to secure it going down. Stops the clock with just outside of 9:20 remaining. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bengals.
Well, they're not really taking many deep shots in this game. They do occasionally, but right now called just 7 of 11 for 71 yards. They're liking those quick slants. They're finding success with those, especially off play action.
Reynolds wide, slot man next to him to the left is Terry. Motioning Cole Schmidt closer to the formation on the hash marks. Looking Schmidt's way, now peeling it off. Call has to run, motioning with the hand, looking for Reynolds, and it's intercepted. It's going to come back the other way for Totino-Grace as Sauer has the pick. Now he's out of the pile. Flag comes flying as he's down at the 25-yard line, and the Eagles get the turnover battle back to even, and Michael Sauer picks up the interception. We'll sort out the penalty in the return. Likely won't have an impact on the change of possession with just outside of 9 minutes to go. It's still just a 2-score game, plenty of time here in the third.
Well, on that play, Call trying to improvise.
2 flags down.
Yeah, Call trying to improvise. And so we'll see if this interception still stands, but what a play by Michael Sauer, the safety, who read that well as he was looking for Reynolds. Well, we know Nick Pittman's a very physical player. We've seen that tonight, and he absolutely laid out one of the Blaine Bengals on that return. But right here, look at the rolling to the near side, trying to get him to go to the end zone. And Sauer, he just didn't put enough air under it. Sauer leapt up in front of Reynolds, read that well, and he just made a play on the football. And then obviously on the return, Pittman.
On first down, flag will come down again as they'll put the ball at the 8-yard line.
That was a half the distance to the goal penalty, so it went from the 18 to the 9. as that was a no gain on that rush by Carlson.
No gain, second down.
Totino-Grace now 2 penalties for 19 yards.
Roll out to the right. Chandrasekhar stays with that one and hauls it in just past the 18-yard line. And now there's a flag down on this play. So the catch got it close to first down yardage for Chandrasekhar. Now the penalty has him moving back.
Number 7 on the offense. Walk the distance to the goal. Repeat touchdown.
So the ball's going to be on the 4-yard line now. First down marker is out near the 18. It'll still be second down.
This is a chance for Blaine here with to pin Totino-Grace deep and set themselves up with really good field position. As they've got it all the way back at the 4, they need to reach the 18 for a first down.
The run on the right side for Carlson, trying to spin his way through a couple of tackles. Doesn't get very far. Or he's brought down by Jacob Lind eventually. Good defensive line push again. Puts them out to the 6-yard line to pick up 2, and it's third down and long.
Again, we talked about it. These are the kind of mistakes Totino-Grace cannot afford to make because they don't want to have to throw. They don't want to put themselves behind the chains. But certainly penalties, and silly penalties like man downfield will do that.
See what they get. Quarterback has been Loger outside of that one drive by Ruonen. Loger wants to throw. Now he tucks it and keeps, and he's going to be taken down for a loss inside the 5, wrapped up and taken down by Jacob Lind. Bengal defensive end getting in there again. Pressure all over the place from that line, Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. And pressure burst pipes, and right there, both ends coming in, and Lind is the one who gets the sack on that one and does a little dance afterwards.
And that's why there's a flag down.
Oh, is that going to be a first down? Oh, wow, that is huge. Oh, my goodness.
The dance for Jacob Lind after the play was dead gives the first down to the Eagles at the 19-yard line.
Oh, it's the kind of penalty that just drives coaches nuts. You had him stopped. You forced the punt with your 3rd sack of the game, and now it gives Totino-Grace new life.
Loger, again pressure, dumped off, ball batted in the air, still alive, and they're going to say incomplete. Imslander got his hand on it again. Second one he's batted down, and he was saying got awful close to taking that one too. It ended up in the hands of Henry Morris, but a little bit too late.
I'm not sure how he didn't get that one because he bats it up. He has his hands on it, and he just cannot bring it in. Oh, so close for the Bengals. It would be another big turnover.
Caleb Tome, the offensive lineman for Totino-Grace, kind of knifed through there and took the eye off it for Imslander. Second down and 10. Clock paused outside of 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Interception on the first drive thrown by the Bengals, and now a little run off the right side. Loger nowhere to go as Huber gets down on top of him at the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down.
No, it's interesting, JW, because I thought Nick Ruonen actually looked really good on his drive. He was 6 of 7 for 62 yards. He moved the football with Totino-Grace, and yet they went back to Loger, and Loger has been the man under center ever since.
A little bit what we saw against Centennial too. Pressure coming in from his left side, forces him up in the pocket, bouncing around, dumps it off, and has the catch to Molitor. Stayed alive, kept it alive, and Molitor close to first down yardage. It'll depend on the spot here.
Molitor got popped at the end of that one, but what a great play of escapability from Loger to keep that play alive as he dumps it off to Molitor, and I think it's going to be pretty close to the spot.
Play whistled to a stop with the injured Molitor. It's Adam who pops up, took the hit from Joe Beckman. With a great outlet catch, and they're going to mark him about a yard short. So we 4th and 1 from the 18. What are the Eagles going to do here? It's a 2-possession game. You survived being pinned inside your 5-yard line to punt from that Bengal penalty.
I mean, you're down 10-0 midway through the third quarter. I think you have to consider going for it, and you've got Carlson, one of the best tailbacks in the area. I think this is a good decision by Jay Anderson.
We have seen a pooch punt as well, but it won't be this time. It's Carlson trying to bang his way through, and he's got the first down past the 30 to the 31. Bengals got a good push, not quite good enough. Peyton Bridges comes in, and the senior defensive lineman makes the tackle. Injured Eagle, that's Tome. Slow to get up.
Between injuries and penalties, this game has really become choppy here in the third quarter. It's not as free-flowing as it was in the first, but yeah, when you've got a senior running back as good as Carlson and a big offensive line like Totino-Grace, you just say, hey, we need a yard. Go get us a yard, and he did 3 on that play to move the chains.
So Tome going off.
Meanwhile, down on the Blaine sideline, Scullerud still getting that ankle tape, trying to see if he can come back when the Bengals get the ball.
Loger keeps it. Loger out of pressure once and taken down from behind by Huber. Good pressure up the field by Henry Morris, too.
I mean, it's going to go down as a gain of 1, but Huber really blew that play up. And again, watch him come back from the backside and chase down this play. Never gives up on the play, and ultimately keeps the gain to just minimum, just a gain of 1 on that one.
2nd and 9, under 5.5 to play here in the third. No points. This is the second overall drive. Totino-Grace got the interception on the first Bengal drive of the half. Backed up inside the 5, a sack on 3rd down, had it 4th down and long, but a Bengal penalty gave the Eagles new life. Picked up a 4th and 1. Now it's 2nd and 8. They'll make their way to midfield. Loger pumps once, twice, and 3 times and keeps. Still directing traffic, trying to keep it alive. He'll turn upfield. He's finally bumped out of bounds. Bumped out of bounds initially by Easton Olsen.
Bengals fortunate they didn't get a late hit penalty thrown, and so it does bring up 3rd down, but ultimately, again, Loger trying to improvise. Both quarterbacks we've seen trying to direct traffic as they keep their eyes downfield, but Loger making something out of nothing on that one.
Gain of 6, 3rd down and 3. Loger gets it into the belly of Carlson. He's got a convoy of Bengals chasing him, but he turns the edge, used enough speed to get out close to the 45-yard line. Mark him at the 43, a gain of 5. He has the first down.
I like the play call there, getting him to the edge, getting blockers out ahead of him, and then he just outran the Bengals defense. You see him cut it upfield. He's physical enough to keep falling forward, and he had plenty for the first down.
Chains move again for Totino-Grace. This is play number 11 of the drive coming up. And pressure again. Loger out of it, stays away from the ankle tackle with space, and he's pushed out of bounds into the Bengals sideline. Rudely taken down there, and now we will get a flag this time.
Much to the chagrin of the student section, but it did seem like the right call, and a great run of 17 as he got away from the onrushing Huber. Scrambled for 17, and there's going to be 15 more.
So Studer gets dinged for it, and the drive of the penalties continues.
Yeah, 2 for 30 on this drive, including the one, obviously, that kept it alive, and just unnecessary. I mean, Huber lowers his shoulder, and then 7 comes in as well and knocks him flat. Joe Beckman. So Loger fighting for extra yards, and now they're in business at the 25.
He wasn't totally sure where he was on the sideline either. It was out of bounds. Here he spins out of it. Houdini alive and well, and it was nearly picked off. Threw it into space, and it was a chance to go the other way for Adam Anderson, and he just couldn't haul it in.
Oh, Anderson read that so well and nearly jumped that route. Again, Loger with the escapability. He's not getting much help from his offensive line right now, but credit to that Bengals front 4.
Yeah, he saw what happened in the first half. Too much pressure. So he's got it in his mind that he can't hold it long at all. And he's made a lot out of nothing multiple times, nearly threw that one into the arms of a waiting Bengal.
Loger with his athleticism now up to 37 yards on 6 carries.
Very few of that would seem designed, as he'll give right side. Carlson off that right side, and he's down close to the 21-yard line. So a solid gain on first down.
19 carries last week, up to 17 for 72 yards in this one. So he's getting healthy and becoming that bell cow back that we expected to see coming into this season.
4 there, it'll be third down. Quarter clock continues to spin, under 3:45 to go in this third quarter. Just the second overall drive. Bengals started with the ball, an interception, gave it to Totino-Grace deep in their own territory. Loger to throw. Loger has to split 2 defenders, dumps it out to Carlson, wide open, spinning off the first tacklers down to the 10-yard line. And it'll be goal to go for the Eagles with a first down pickup on the little pitch and catch from quarterback to wideout.
Again, the improvisation abilities of Loger, running away from pressure, keeping it alive, putting his foot in the ground, and then just flipping it out to Carlson, who of course breaks a tackle, spins off the tackle, and gets it down to the 10. Really great job of keeping the chains moving by Totino-Grace.
2 huge personal foul penalties on this drive for the Bengals have helped Totino-Grace take it from their own 8-yard line down to the Bengal 10. Loger protected this time. Now almost slips and falls. Now he will go down in the grasp of the Blaine Bengals, and Gavin Ecker flies off the edge to finally put him to the deck.
Big number 70 for Totino-Grace. Owen Swatberg is having a rough night. Committed a penalty earlier in this drive, and then he just gets blown by the defensive Blaine. And the Bengals, Gavin Ecker racking up the Bengals' 4th sack of the night.
Back to the 17, a loss of 7. It's a goal to go from here. Logan to throw. Pocket breaks down, chased by Imlanzer. Dumps it down to the goal line, incomplete. In and out of the hands of R.J. Spencer. Third down and goal to go from the 17.
I mean, you figure 2-down territory. I know it's only 10-0, but this must be almost the 20th play of the drive coming up. This is an extended drive, to say the least. Starting after that Michael Sauer interception deep in Eagles territory.
This will be number 16 coming up. 3 plays with penalties on them as well. Logan, time, but has to scramble towards the end zone. Has a man, tipped and incomplete. Bengals got the defense down there. Beckman, Braun, Anderson, all on the spot to knock it away and make it 4th down and goal to go from the 17.
I'll tell you what, JW, Loger and Totino-Grace fortunate that one wasn't interception. That was just intercepted. That was just up for grabs. Unfortunately, they had the tallest player on the field. I wouldn't be surprised to see TG take a timeout here, or maybe they'll attempt a field goal, but that was just up for grabs, and Blaine nearly intercepted it. What a big turnover that would have been.
Play clock's down to 6, so yeah, they're going to take a timeout. 2:04 remaining here in the third quarter, and the Totino-Grace Eagles have had the benefit of 2 big penalties on the Blaine Bengals on this drive to go from the 8 to the Bengal 17, but it's 4th and goal to go from the 17 as that defense has stepped up again. They've bent to this point a couple of times, Bill, but they haven't broken yet. Obviously not giving up a score, but here again they forced this 4th down and the decision from the coaching staff of the Eagles.
Well, Blaine got a 34-yard field goal just before the half, and Totino-Grace trying to answer that. Certainly know that Loger's leg is long enough to hit it from this distance, and they just want to get points on the board. I think this is a good decision, but Blaine, yeah, bent but haven't broken, and certainly if you can get away with just giving up a field goal, you feel fortunate, because obviously these were some self-inflicted errors that happened on this drive, and so they can get out of here having given up just 3 points. I think they'll feel fortunate, and Coach Law will take that.
34-yarder for Loger. Snap came in a little low. The kick is up, and it is no good. And the Bengals will get out even better than that. They force the missed field goal from 34, and it's still 10-0 as the offense can take over finally.
Yeah, I think it was kind of the snap was low and sort of bobbled, and I don't know if that just threw off the rhythm of the kick or whatever. It's hard to say, but yeah, Loger just pushed it wide right from that right hash, and now the Bengals take over 1st and 10 with their second drive of the second half from the 20.
First one ended with the interception. Now they start at their own 20, still up 10-0. Little substitution issues. Still no Scullerud in there. Play fake. Ends up outside to Huber. Down the sideline, and he's bumped out by Sauer. Good pickup on first down. Close to first down yardage. They say it's a first down. 1st and 10 at the 30.
Very efficient. 8 for 12 for 81 yards now. Kind of dinking and dunking their way down the field, but Call has managed this game nicely. Touchdown pass and an interception today.
He's got Hegestad off to his right. Scullerud, the lone back in this game to this point, been injured. He's now sitting with his left shoe off and ice on his ankle on the sideline, so he's not coming back. But there goes Hegestad. He gets out to the 40, spun down by Sauer, but there's a flag down back where this play started near the 30. Likely coming back.
Bengals down to their 3rd string running back, and that's tough.
5th penalty of the half coming up, combined between these two teams, and this one's going to be against the Blaine Bengals.
58 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot and fall. Repeat first down.
They might count the 4th penalty now of the half on Blaine.
Spot foul. It's going to back him up. Put the football at the 18-yard line.
5 for 52.
He'll run it inside with Hegestad again. Trying to dive his way forward. He was grabbed around the shoulder by Louis de Medici for Totino-Grace. Back to the 20. So now it's 2nd down and 20. Bengals would love a big chunk right here. Make it a manageable 3rd down. Offense not doing much here in this quarter. They're down another tailback. They came in the day down their top running back. Still trying to get it done with the defense, who's pitched a shutout against Totino-Grace so far. Hegestad again tries to go off left side. Again runs into that defense led by de Medici. Nowhere to go. A gain of 1 out to the 21-yard line. It's 3rd and 19. Do have to snap the football on this side of the quarter.
Well, they would love to bleed as much clock as possible. And they moved the ball in their first drive of the half, but just ultimately turned it over deep. Couldn't punch it in.
4 wide. Call claps the hands with 20 on the game clock. Now down to 10 on the play clock. Looking to throw all the way. Looking for Huber, looking to the same side. Dumps it off short. Hegestad nowhere to go as he made the catch. Immediately Pittman took him to the deck. So it'll be down to the 24-yard line on a pickup of 3. It'll bring up a 4th down and the 4th quarter. Bengals will punt from deep in their own end to start the 4th quarter. Second half so far has seen 5 penalties and just 3 total possessions. Bengals with a 4th and long coming up when we come back for the final quarter from Bengals Stadium after this on North Metro TV. Headed into the 4th quarter, final 12 minutes here. The Blaine Bengals are down in a 4th and 16 here at their own 24. Leading it though 10-0. J.W. Cox alongside Bill Hupp, our entire North Metro TV crew, bringing you down the stretch of this one. Bengals trying to bounce back from a loss at St. Michael Albertville. Keep the trend going. Win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. Trying to win another to get back to 500. Or stay a game over 500, excuse me. Will be a straight punt for Schusted. Just to his left to field that one. Got it a high punt, not quite as deep. It's going to carry though out to the 50. Nearly hit a Bengal in the coverage efforts. Bengals thought it hit an Eagle. So did the Bengals sideline. 22-yard kick as it stands. The Bengals pretty adamant that it looked like it hit someone, Bill, and bounced back oddly, but I think it hit a Bengal.
Yeah, no, I thought so too, because there was nothing but Bengals around it. The punt returner did a nice job of waving everybody away. And that backspin that the punter put on it means that Totino-Grace takes over with good field position, obviously in Bengals territory at the 46.
They missed the 34-yard field goal. Now they stop them on a 3-and-out on defense. As Bill just mentioned, we give the edge in the field position battle to the Eagles for this one. They're bringing in a fullback, are the Eagles. And they'll try to run behind it, and that Bengal defense is right there on the right edge to stop Justin Kuharski in his tracks.
Kuharski, just a sophomore, and he's just kind of running tentatively out there. And that's as there's an injured offensive lineman down for Totino-Grace. Yeah, that play, you have to run with some intent if you're going to run between the tackles.
It's Jack Modal, who is the center for the Eagles. We've had guys go down on both sides of the field now. Scullerode, he's on the trainer's table, shoe off, ice on, he's not coming back. And Modal, the starting center now for the Eagles, down as well. Two other games for North Metro TV schools going on. Spring Lake Park leading Matamidi later in that game, 28-0 as you see Scullerud there. And then Centennial High School being world beaters, trying to be again as they beat Maple Grove last week. Now trying to give the first loss to Wayzata, another top 10 team in the Metro, and they're up 6-0. Certainly both those games good for our teams, Bill, and well, a little bit surprising for Spring Lake Park the way they're handling Matamidi, and then certainly Centennial shutting out Wayzata right now. This is our upcoming schedule as well. Coming up this week, we'll see Spring Lake Park next week after Blaine and Centennial. The rivalry matchup here on North Metro TV gets the Thursday billing. We'll also have volleyball that night in the Cat Clash. And then Cooper and Spring Lake Park, always a big one. Moving on to the next week, Wayzata will be here against Blaine. We'll get Armstrong and Spring Lake Park. And then that's the final game of the regular season for the Bengals as they'll wrap up at Osseo, or at home against Osseo, also here on North Metro TV. Full coverage schedule, northmetrotv.com.
A couple of our schools in real good shape to and defense, right? Blaine is pitching a shutout tonight. Spring Lake Park up 28-0. And Centennial, you saw their defense last week. How about going on the road and leading 6-0 into the fourth quarter at Wayzata? That's a score that's sure to raise some eyebrows around the state.
Already did it once. That's just a Cougar team that's continuing to get better week after week and hoping to get the results against another top 10 team. Second down and 11, and Loger will keep it, and he meets Mr. Imslander and Mr. Mr. Grant coming off that right side. And he'll bring him down for no gain. It's 3rd and 11.
Yeah, haven't seen their main tailback Carlson yet on this drive. Loger just keeps it himself, and yeah, no gain puts them again behind the chains.
3rd and 11. Their last drive powered by a couple of Bengal 15-yarders, including one that negated a 4th down and long. And now trying to go 3-and-out for this Bengal defense. Late pitch, late flag, play blown dead. It's going to Carlson on that left side. Offsides on the Bengals, so they're going to help him out again.
The Bengals just continue to shoot themselves.
Encroachment, number 66 on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So it's still 3rd down, but much more manageable to the 42-yard line.
And at the risk of sounding obvious, what I was going to say before this drive started is this is the biggest drive of the game for Totino-Grace. Early in the fourth quarter, they need to get some kind of points on the board, especially having just missed that field goal in a critical 3rd down right now.
3rd down. Carlson, left side, out of an Imslander tackle, turns it upfield, and he's close to 1st down yardage. Far side official looks to have given it to him, and yes, they will move the chains. Imslander had a chance, Bill, to bring him down short of the line to gain, and Carlson just running tough.
And he got it by 6 yards. He got it by about a half yard. He didn't get it by much, and that was obviously shortened by the penalty. So again, penalties really hurting the Bengals here in this second half.
So it's 1st down and 10, coming up on 10 minutes to go in this game. Eagles keeper for Logan, winding his way through the middle, taken down by Imslander there just past the 35-yard line to the 34. Short pickup on first down, but positive yardage.
Totino-Grace seems to have kind of completely abandoned the throw. I don't know if they just feel like they can't block long enough for Logan to have time to find receivers, but they have gone completely to the ground with Carlson and Logan.
Give to Carlson, runs into his own blocking before he's taken down by Jaden Grant.
As we said, Carlson had 19 carries last week, and looks like he's trying to shake it off. 19 carries now for 79 yards for the bell cow back for this Totino-Grace Eagles squad, but time ticking inside 9 minutes to go. Certainly another critical third down right here for the Bengals defense.
So Logan's got a third down. 7 yards to go with Carlson in the backfield. Wants to throw all the way. Pressure coming all the way. Tucks it just in time. Nearly had it knocked away, and Peyton Bridges brings him down, flying with his hair on fire from that offensive left side.
Just a great job of weak side pressure to track him down. And I guess they're going to call it no gain on the play, but
Bridges, the speed from the edge to get there. Logan senses it. That keeps him from dangling that football out there like the loaf of bread. And the white-clad student section loving it. Totino-Grace is going to take their second time out of the half. 8:29 to go. It's 4th down and 7. Well, we've pretty much seen them go for plays like this, Bill, all game long, knowing that this yardage is precious. Would expect nothing less here than an attempt at trying to pick up this 7 yards and keep this drive alive.
Yeah, I think you look to target Spencer, maybe slip a running back out of the backfield like Carlson, or look for the big tight end. Obviously, Adam Molitor exited the game earlier with an injury, but you've got 6'6" Mason Molitor that you could hit down the seam. All kinds of play options available for the Eagles. But yeah, Logan does a nice job of just tucking it and living to play another down as he felt the pressure from the backside but could not escape it. And again, the Blaine Bengals defense, the one that's keeping them ahead in this football game and bending a little bit more in the second half, but thus far not breaking.
Crowd having a lot of fun, trying to cheer that defense on. It's a 4th down. Logan, he can pooch punt it if they want to try to play field position. They'll have Carlson in there as a back, though. He's not going to pooch punt this. Rolls out, dumps it down, incomplete. He was looking for Spencer and threw it too high, and they will turn it over on downs for the 3rd time in this game and give it to the Bengals at their own 33.
And he had him. He had Spencer open, just overshot his intended receiver. Spencer, their leading receiver, so no surprise to see them try to get him involved. And now, question is, can Blaine, with its 3rd-string running back, move the chains enough to keep the clock moving?
One score will do it. I mean, we've seen what Totino-Grace has tried to do against this Bengal defense. 2 scores, enough of an uphill battle. 3 just about ended here in the 4th as Imslander, that's Hegstead, that 3rd running back, driving his way through. Will Russell help bring him down for the Eagles at the 34-yard line. They say no gain, so it's at the 33. 2nd and 10. Clock spins down toward 8 minutes to go. Peek at the sideline. Wide receiver left is Cole Schmidt. Narrow side of the field alone on that side. Give it to Hegstead. Again, he's hitting the backfield, and again, it slows him up enough. Pressure flying in from Pittman, who was the first man to hit him. Cleaned up eventually by Louis Demedici.
Again, a no gain. Totino-Grace's defense not being fooled by any of these play fakes, and Hegstead finding the sledding tough in between the tackles. So right now, obviously, Blaine not being able to move the ball.
Keeping Totino-Grace alive in the hopes of that Eagles sideline. 3rd down and 10. To throw. Pressure on call. Got it away, too strong. It's going to stop the clock and bring up a 4th down and 10 with 7:10 remaining here in this game.
And they'd had success through the air, especially early. I mean, Call was 5 for his first 7, but they seem to have just wanted to go almost exclusively on the ground in this second half, and it's a tough 3 and out for the Bengals. Didn't really choose too much clock up, and once again, they're going to put it on their defense to win them this game.
Schusted's going to punt it away. Big punt for him. Try and pin this one deep. Brennan Blake waiting for it. He does line this one a little bit more, and it is a good one. Driving Blake back to the 25, 26-yard line where he makes the fair catch. So a second consecutive punt, 4th punt on the last 6 drives. 41 yards there, though, for Schusted. Helps flip the field a little bit to the 26. Just 7:02 remaining here in this game. Bengal defense, you said it, they're going to be the ones who have to be out there to try and win it. Maybe not bend at all this time. Try to force a 3 and out. And it has gone final. Centennial knocks off Wayzata. The last unbeaten team in the Metro Gold North falls at the hands of the Cougars. And that puts a big pile up at the top of this Metro Gold North division. Logan again running away from pressure all the way back inside the 15. Just drops it down at the feet of his lineman. And a flag is going to come out late as Huber was pressuring. Logan trying to point that he was throwing it to Carlson, but the only guy there was Owen Swedberg, his right tackle.
Well, I think it's, likely to be intentional grounding and not roughing the passer. Huber did end up falling at his feet, but certainly he just had no time to throw.
So it'll be 2nd down and a mile now for Totino-Grace.
Yeah, obviously a loss of down, and right there the ends just coming off. As you see, Huber dove at his knees at the end as he released that pass, but just nobody in the vicinity. And again, the inability of the tackles to block the ends effectively has just led to all kinds of pressure. Logan has absolutely no time to work.
So the ball is at the 8-yard line. It's 2nd and 28. They'll run it with Carlson, and he's got a lot of it. Shakes a man at the 20, runs over a defender at the 25. He's slow to get up. Spot him at the 26-yard line. He's hearing it from Jackson Braun.
He ran over Jackson Braun at the end, and Braun ultimately made the tackle. And I wonder if Carlson's just cramping up on this steamy night. He's been a little gimpy in the last drive. He looked not 100%. That was his 20th carry of the game after all. What a weapon to have.
Yeah, 18 yards. He found the space as they over pursued a little bit to the middle. And he didn't run him over so much as I saw the same thing you did, though. He started to fall a little bit earlier, right before the tackle. He was headed to the deck, and Braun helped him the rest of the way. So, yeah, cramp potentially. They're bringing the water to him.
Carlson nearing 100 yards on the night. 20 carries for 97 yards. It's that calf cramp. Those can be hard to go away, especially late in the game.
He got all the intentional grounding yardage back, but it's still 3rd and 10.
Yeah, he's certainly someone that the Eagles need out there.
Spring Lake Park looks to be getting the win over Matamita. They've expanded the lead to 35-7. Run right side, nowhere to go. Justin Kuharski, and now a flag's going to come out late. The Bengals might have just given him another 1st down. Solid tackling made, but it's going to be unsportsmanlike on the Bengals after the play, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Eagles.
Well, clearly this reffing crew is looking for that, and so the intensity and the aggression of Blaine is really coming back to bite them. Have to be more disciplined than that defensively, especially in the 4th quarter.
I don't know if they've tucked it away too hard for them to find it either, whether or not they're looking for it. You've got the dance, you've got the late hits. And now a 1st down for Totino-Grace. You said it, discipline has to be the key. Gresseth got in there to help end the play, but a little bit too much.
There'll be some coaching moments in the film after this one for Blaine for sure.
So the penalty on the Bengals, a half fraught with penalties for Blaine, moves it to the 42.
And they keep getting them on third down after they've gotten stops. That's what's crushing for if you're a Blaine fan.
6 penalties in the half. 1st and 10. Dumped it back left side, nowhere to go. Kaharski again with lead tailback Carlson dinged up on the sideline. He's still sitting down on the turf on the far side, well away from the rest of the teammates. No gain to the 42.
Yeah, after just a 1 penalty for 5 yards in the first half for Blaine, now up to 70 for 7 for 72 in the second half.
Carlson trying to roll out a cramp on that left leg as he's drinking water. He's got the roller going. Time's starting to run short. They're still in a 2-possession game. Keeper this time designed for Logan. He's going nowhere, into the arms and down of Henry Morris. Bengals not fooled. Loss of 1 to the 41. It's 3rd and 11.
Logan absolutely taking a pounding tonight.
Huber got held too, or he might have made the play. Got to get some kind of edge when number 50's coming at you.
Whatever you can get away with. They can't call holding every play.
Not every play.
The speed of the ends is just causing Totino-Grace's offensive line all kinds of problems.
Well, that an instance too, you talked about at the beginning how good these front four are with opening up gaps for the linebackers to come in, and that's exactly what happened there. Now Logan grabbed onto by Imslander. He shoves him off, hangs onto the football, and takes a big hit standing up from Jack Johnson. He was held up by the defensive lineman Grant, and then Jack Johnson came in to finish it off.
Oh, he just got bent back there. Good to see the young man up. And I just talked about how he's taking a pounding, and a perfect example is right there. He's trying to keep the play alive, and he just gets gang tackled as we see the replay right here.
So he's held up, and then Johnson, nothing dirty there. He's just flying in to make the tackle, and he's still standing up on a knee.
Yeah, he got kind of held up from behind, and then Johnson comes in and pushes him back.
Now it's 4th down. Carlson's back. It's 4th and 12, coming up on 4 minutes to go. Bengal offense haven't done much of anything this half either, so they're going to go for it here. Possessions precious. They need 12.
For the Eagles.
Carlson back. He picked up a big chunk on 1st down and long. Luger looking for all of it. Throws it to Spencer, incomplete. No laundry. And yes, it will be turnover on downs. Back to the Bengals.
Spencer was engaged down that right sideline with in some hand fighting with Isaac Moyne, the senior defensive back, but ultimately they say no penalty. Mind that call. You see the hand fighting there, just overshot the intended receiver. And Spencer, they had to get something going offensively.
Bengals 3 and out last time down. 6 plays, 1 first down picked up the prior time. This one dumped off short to Torgerson, the tight end. He'll get a first down right out of the gates, down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line.
Absolutely love that call on 1st down. You do a little misdirection, drag Torgerson across. He was all alone, simple pitch and catch.
From the 27, 3.5 to go. Bengals keep this football and ice it, score and ice it. Officially here. Up 2 scores all half long after they got a field goal in the waning minutes of the first half. Lone touchdown of the game came on their first drive. 5-play, 40-yard drive. Call to Reynolds. 3 wide. Give this time. A little bit of space for the first time for Hegstead to get ahead of steam. And he pushes it down inside the 25 to the 24. Just 1 timeout remaining for Totino-Grace.
They've got to use it wisely. And it doesn't, the way that Blaine has dominated this game, it feels like it should be more than 10-0. But obviously their defense, as we've talked about, has been the backbone of this Bengals performance tonight.
Bengals in no rush, still 15 on the play clock as they break towards the line. Reynolds and Huber out wide to the right. Tight end on the left. Hegsted's the back. He'll get it in the middle, bouncing off of blockers. Tries to find his way to the outside. He's pushed back rudely by Pittman. He's had a good game. His defense has given up nothing in this second half for Totino-Grace, but the offense, unfortunately, unable to cash in any points, including a missed 34-yard field goal tonight.
Yeah, the Eagles defense has done their part. They've been flying around the football. I've called Pittman's name a lot. Sauer has an interception.
Takes us under 2 minutes to go. Little confusion for the Bengals on the line of scrimmage. 4 wide. This time a keeper for call. Trying to spin for a first down. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. So no gain again at the 24. And the Eagles are going to take a timeout now. Stops the clock with 1:37 to go. 4-4 all time since Totino-Grace became a 6A school. First met in those conditions back in 2015. Bengals won 3 of the last 4 regular season meetings between these two teams. Only loss in that span, 2019, lost by 10 to Totino-Grace, won it 26-22 last year.
Yeah, won it in the season opener for both teams last year, and what was a good game. So these programs are in a pretty similar position right now. So this scoreline maybe a little lower than we expected, but you know, we thought it would be a good game coming in.
1:37 remaining. It's the final timeout for Totino-Grace. The Bengals pick up this first down. Undoubtedly, they're going to go for it here, you would think. If they can pick up this first down, then they can just work the clock. Don't even need to score.
Yeah, no reason not to. And then it'll be a question after this game is over of the health of their top 2 running backs and if they can get them back on the field.
How do they get the 7 yards they need? 4th down and 7. They'll throw it towards the end zone. Wide receiver falls. They'll get the first down via the penalty. In comes the flag. And in what has become, unfortunately, the fashion of the Bengals tonight, Totino-Grace will look to extend potentially this Bengal drive via the penalty. And the arm's already up for the victory formation for the Bengals.
Yeah, the story of the second half has been untimely penalties on 3rd down for both teams, particularly Blaine in the second half, but the Bengals managed to, as you said, make plays. Biggest first down of the game right here.
Absolutely. Got it via the penalty. Throw it up. Good things might happen. Wide receiver goes down. You're likely going to get the flag. Peter Shar tried to pull the hands away, but the damage done. No timeouts for the Eagles. 1:32 to go. Bengals can snap it and kneel on it and end this one and go to 3-2 overall, back even in Metro Gold North play.
Yeah, it's a big, hard-fought win for the Bengals on homecoming, defending their home turf. And really, they set the tone in that first drive of the game, marching down the field, punching it in, getting that early lead. I don't think we thought it was going to be the only touchdown they'd score of the night, but ultimately it was enough. So Bengals now, the road gets a little tougher, obviously facing Centennial, who is as hot as any team in the state right now, and then Wayzata here at home.
Another knee. Student section will flee the stadium, and the Bengals will have to do it one more time on officially a 3rd down to end this game. That's right, coming up at Centennial next Thursday. We'll have that game here on North Metro TV for you. We'll also have a Friday matchup for Spring Lake Park coming up for your upcoming football schedule. Totino-Grace also doesn't get easier. They are at home, but they take on Minnetonka next week at 7. There's your final kneel down. All that's left is zeros. And the Blaine Bengals, a first drive touchdown, helps this one stand up as a 10-0 Bengal win. A tremendous defensive performance all the way around. Bengals win it 10-0. For Bill Hupp, for everyone with North Metro TV, I'm J.W. Cox. Don't forget, go to northmetrotv.com to check out our full schedule. Catch SportsDen this coming Monday. All of that right here on North Metro TV. Good night, everybody.